I was fiddling around with the idea of recording video of podcasts, and I was trying to use webcams and things like that, but it's just impossible. Recording a podcast requires a certain sort of people management thing where everyone's got to be relaxed and everything like that. And when I discovered the notion of PTZ cameras, I went, oh, this is fantastic. The main thing about the BirdDog PTZ cameras and now the Flex is the fact that it all goes into the network, because I have 2 studios, so I can actually have with high-end computers in each one, so I can actually have a relaxed podcasting / recording of any kind of performance. And a lot of the hard work and more staff and more engineers can be hidden away in the other studio on the network, streaming, switching, doing whatever they need. So I love the fact that it's on the Ethernet using the NDI, and I love the fact that it's just high end, and I love the fact that I can then also record a podcast from my little nest here and still control 3 cameras, which is amazing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nice to see you all here. Thanks for joining me today. Lots of fun stuff going on. Morning, Bugsy. How are you, man? Welcome, welcome. Let me know how the audio sounds to you. It sounds a little bit like I'm far away, but try and maybe I can adjust the microphone so it's not in the frame. We'll see. As close as I can get it, right? All right. it appears that my internet is more stable today. I'm actually getting the upload speeds I pay for, so that's good news. And boy, what a journey it has been to try and get halfway decent internet at the new support office. So your mic audio is infinitely softer than your intro music. Yeah, that's unfortunately the nature of things. Which is funny because it shows that they're relatively the same inside OBS, but OBS is not to be trusted. So, anyways, I will I'll rewatch that intro and see if I can't normalize that a little bit. Actually, I probably could. Hang on. What's funny is on my preamp, yeah, my preamp is so much, it's like really touchy in terms of like a tiny turn is a lot of volume. So I've got a lot of like space to go, but I don't want to obviously like break your ears. So it is what it is. But I'll check it out. I'll see if I can normalize it a little bit. We've had some people join us who are following us now. Their names are up here in the notification box and also down below at the bottom of the screen. So I haven't heard from them necessarily in our show, but all 4 of these folks actually are brand new. Lunatics signed up about a week ago, or followed me about a week ago. MCP is just a couple of days ago, and same with Big Picks. They're all just a couple of days ago. So the channel continues to grow. Pretty pleased to see that. I'm gonna jump over to Twitch and just kind of look at the stats, I guess, see what we've got. I haven't actually been on Twitch in quite a while because I don't need to. I use Restream and I send it there, and then it sends it to Twitch. So I'm gonna mute this. Start the week off right. What are you talking about? That's not what I called this. Oh boy. Edit stream info. Cancel this. Silly Twitch. Silly Twitch. Anyway. So this. So the update is basically the stable update for the P200 P100, which was released yesterday. So that update is finally available along with the Cam Control 2.0.9, I believe, is the final version. So that's pretty exciting. That is the culmination of a lot of work. And then I do know that 11.366 was just released for Studio overnight. And 170 is the current. I thought they said they did quad, did they not? Or SDI and HDMI. 170 has been available in beta for quite a while. So that is the ability to use the cage, and to use the SFP Plus cage, and let me think here. Just give me a quick second here, because I have the quad, or I have the HDMI unit here. Let me just take a quick peek. Oh, okay. So Mini was also given the ability to do, they've been talking about this for a while, but to do analog audio input as a source for embedding on the encode. So when the unit's in encode, you can now take an analog audio, put it in the audio jack, and embed that into the stream. So a third-party microphone, for example. If you had like a Rode video mic or something like that in a hot shoe, you wanted to add that into the, not into the camera, but into the Mini. That jack is now able to do that. It does NDI groups, which again is something we actually launched a little while ago, but and it was in beta for a while. Basically, you can group devices to only see each other, and so add them to specific groups. That's something that goes on in Access Manager, so that's an option. I don't know what changes happened to the config file for remote sources. I'll have to look that one up. Real-time NDI statuses. So that's on the web UI. There's actually a readout that happens. I've got two screens. There we go. Okay, so there's actually a readout now in our web UI that tells you what the live stats are, and they refresh every, 5 seconds or 10 seconds or something like that. So that's been added to all of our products for the most part. Flex has it for example. And I can share that with you, kind of what that looks like. I think. Hang on. One of my Chrome tabs. One of my bajillion Chrome tabs. Okay, so here we go. Let me move this over to desktop. All right, so this is actually just Flex Out, which is a brand new product that was released and is now shipping globally, by the way. So you can't see it. Oh, there it is. Flex Out. So when it has a source, it lights up green. Super simple, really helpful, and it's working really well. There's only factory firmware right now, so the one that it comes with is the one that you need to use. On the actual firmware website, it doesn't actually, we don't have it available yet. I'm talking to the guys about maybe getting it up there, but no promises. They are working on some additional stuff for that, so there may be an update there eventually, but not right at this moment. So don't freak out, just use the factory firmware. It does work as advertised. So from what I can tell. So anyways, the unit, this is the standard dashboard, but in the AV menu here, there's actually NDI stats, and it shows that it's connected, shows what the resolution is, what the frame rate it sees, what video sample rate it sees, which is becoming more important in the 4K realm. But then audio channels, which is 2, which is correct. It should always be 2. Sample rate 48K, which is also correct right now. That is what it's supposed to be at. But this is the most helpful piece right here. What is the average bit rate for the unit? And right now I'm sitting at about 136 megabits per second. This is a P200 camera that it's decoding, and it's putting up on a monitor that I have here in the office. So that is likely what has been added to the Mini. Some live stats gives you an idea as to what it is that's actually seeing. Instead of just having this, because that's all we had for a long time, now we actually break down the source a little bit. And what this is actually just reiterating is what you find inside NDI analysis. So if we go here, we type in ndianalysis.exe/find. It's going to find all of my NDI sources on my network. And then, boom, two sources there. And then what we can say is, whoops, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Then what we can say is ndianalysis.exe, and then you can say source, colon, and then the source, my source, is this one right here. Yoink. I hope I copied that. Yep. So there's the source, and then frame check. And this is what it's actually getting. This is the information it's getting. And we'll just cancel that because don't need all that. But this right here is what we're capturing. So it says that it's 48K right here. 2-channel audio. Captures, where else do we got here? We got all sorts of information. Megabits 1.5 average. Oh, here, video format 1080p, progressive P, aspect ratio 1.78, which is correct, and no alpha. So that's also actually quite important. So that is what it's now showing inside of these web UIs. It's pulling that data and keeping this fairly live. The NDI analysis doesn't show us the bit rate, but we can pull that down from the NIC information. So this is very helpful with troubleshooting, and this is almost like a big support feature for you. So as you're encoding, decoding, all that sort of good stuff, hopefully this will become helpful. So most of our products, if not all of them, are probably going to get that because, again, just getting that data more visible to you is helpful. So, okay. Just want to make sure. Let me go back here now. Mini has a new update. Finally, the flex outs are out. A few months behind, but it's worth the wait. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be Q4, I guess, was of last year. There was an issue in manufacturing, and it ended up postponing the launch. And so we have all that sorted out now. And everything gets slowed down these days with just lots of factors, including pandemic. So thankfully we're underway and we're in good shape there. I think the manufacturing runs are being put together, and Flex Out is now with our distributors so people can buy them. I had a ticket in today actually that talked about Pro Presenter not being able to send a Flex Out, so I tested that. I have Pro Presenter 7, a demo version, so Pro Presenter 7.1.1, and did push a full NDI screen capture, which is basically just like a screen output. So it's what would be hypothetically being sent to a projector. In my case, it was a second monitor, and then I mimic that and send that out NDI output. Then I link that to the Flex Out, and I was able to push that to the screen. So I can confirm that that is actually working. So there's a couple of things then we have to check. Newest is 7.4. Okay. Well, I will update that after. Hopefully they're not screwing with the NDI code too much. But I can update that after and test again. I can't imagine that they've changed it that much. But it does work. At least I did get it to work. So it's good news. Anyway, so obviously Flex... Whoa. Obviously Flex Out is... I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time here. Okay, here we go. All right. So obviously Flex Out is just a decoder, and it's, you know, for situations where you're going to probably pretty much put it in a place where you're going to have a monitor or a projector or something like that, and you need to get up to 4K onto the screen. So it eliminates a lot of places where there could be potential problems, which is kind of nice to have a unit that does a specific thing. It's just not quite as versatile as the Mini, for example, that could be set in encode mode or decode mode. So pick and choose. But the Flex is much newer technology, can handle a lot more lines of code, can handle a lot more, it has a lot more encoding power. So if you know what your specific application is and you know how many encodes you need and decodes you need, the Flex is probably the right choice for you. Just FYI. Windows updates keeps breaking NDI discovery for some devices, so unfortunately it's entirely possible that 7.4 has a different NDI performance than 7.0. Or mine was 7.1. Top of the morning. How's it going, Kevin? Nice to see you, man. Yeah, so here's the other thing with companies that are... I can't talk with headphones on. Here's the thing with companies that are writing NDI into their programs, much like the HX protocol stuff, where it's just kind of up to the programmers to get it to work, and there's no real checks and balances in terms of standardization. And so I really wish people would work a lot closer with NewTek than they do, but they don't. And so rest assured, BirdDog has a very good relationship with NewTek. We try and consult them on a lot of our stuff to make sure that we're in line with what their vision for the current iteration of NDI is. So we work very closely with them, have a good working relationship there. So if you buy a BirdDog product, you can be assured that we have worked with NewTek directly, who are the inventors of NDI, if you're new to this conversation. And we work very closely with them to try and get them to help us out a little, just kind of, obviously provide us with guidelines with what the intentions were and all that sort of thing with the program. So, yeah, not everybody does that though. I don't know about Renewed Vision, which is the parent company that owns Pro Presenter, and I don't know if they have that sort of working relationship or not, but hopefully. Okay, cool. I will keep an eye out for it. There are a lot of tickets going on right now, so I'm gonna have to leave my office this afternoon. Judson and I will be, and I Start pushing them in places for sure. Michael Graves, what is going on, dude? Welcome back. It has been a while. Yeah, thanks for joining me here. So some of the big news, the firmware release, obviously. Get your devices updated. Let me know what you find out. The guys have been working diligently on those, as you know. In particular, the P200, P100, which was released a day ago. But there is a release for Mini, for Studio, and I believe officially, for 4K SDI and HDMI. Of course, as soon as you do that, somebody says, and what about the quad? So if you want to see our answer on that, go check out Facebook, the user group. We've answered that about 3 times already today. Quick question. Do I need to update baseboard on the P200 for the new firmware? You should, yes, because they have made slight alterations. Technically, the latest beta would probably be the same, but just to say that you did the entire process, this should be, don't quote me on this on January 14th, but this should be one of the very last times you need to do this. And so I would do it one last time for old time's sake, and then you should be in a place with a P200 where you don't have to do this very, we can push new firmwares and that's it. There's only a few things left on the P200, P100 that we really have outstanding that we'd like to get integrated. And so, but those things should be accomplished now without needing a baseboard update. Now, again, I might have to eat my words. I'm not an engineer. This is the intention of BirdDog, is not to make this process complicated. Trust me when I say we want to make this as easy as we can, because we understand that there are all sorts of people that are having issues. So does that mean they're end of life? No. Remember, Studio is 5 years old, and technically it's not end of life yet. They just released an update for it today. So P200 is not end of life. It's not necessarily, I don't know personally. I don't know what other sort of tricks the camera can do and what sort of data we haven't already provided in the current firmware. So in terms of like brand new features that change the whole landscape, like color matrix, that is a huge, let me put it into perspective for you a little bit. For color matrix, for most broadcast cameras on the market, a feature like color matrix is at least $1,000 upgrade. You would buy the unlock code. The camera could do it, but you would buy the camera for $2,000, and then you would unlock it for another $1,000 to do this feature, and then you'd unlock NDI for another $300, and you would unlock. So like, the camera was $25 in the US. It's $2,500, $2,600. But all of the things, like if you think about when the camera was launched and what the camera can do today, it's still the same price. And all you have to do is these crazy updates. Once the update is done, and again, in theory, we hope to not have to do insane updates like this, then you get all these features for the same price that you paid. So new features, give me that API access I'm looking for and I'll build it for you. Yeah. That's a negotiation you have to make with headquarters over in Australia. You're talking to an employee of BirdDog, not to an owner. The real question is, how much free memory does the camera have available? That is a very good question. That defines how long it will keep receiving new firmware features and firmware updates, because new firmware will always be bigger. There's a lot of truth in that. And like all technology, the requirements, just look at Windows. The requirements for what it takes to run certain things will always continue to increase. And so the nature of things will be for it to probably run out of space one day. So a great example of this is flight simulators. So I play X-Plane 11. X-Plane 10 was about half the size. X-Plane 11 will actually run in VR, which is crazy cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new one, my computer, like if I say the words Microsoft Flight Simulator around my computer, it'll freeze up. So I'm not prepared to play that simulator yet. I have everything I need for it other than a computer that can handle it. So I'm going to have to do a massive upgrade if I want to play that version. If it works for you now, new firmware may not ever be required. So here's an interesting thing about NDI is there are going to be new versions of NDI, and programs are going to function on the newest version of NDI, right? So, you know, whoever is writing the code for OBS, they're going to write it when NDI 5, 6, 7 come out in the future. They're going to write updates so that those programs can work with those protocols. Which means that if you're a producer or a manufacturer of an NDI product, you need to write your firmware so that it will talk those new protocols. And they're not necessarily backwards compatible. Actually, most of them are not. So you almost have to. So an actual true end-of-life announcement is really the... What is going on here? Which way? Okay. So an actual end-of-life announcement is more about the unit being discontinued in manufacturing and then supported for probably like 2 to 3 more years. That would all be publicly announced and whatever. But yeah, you know, right now everything is still supported. Nothing's end of life. We're still writing firmware updates for NDI releases. 4.5 is the latest right now. 4.5.3. But NewTek has a way of usually turning those over every 1 or 2 years. You know, or maybe 12 to 18 months. So that's really the plan, is we are, you know, we're going to keep up with that as best we can for the foreseeable time. You know, but again, eventually, Michael's correct. How much internal memory can you use? And can you get that stuff to work? Well, we'll see. So, to be fair, Flight Sim X freezes up computers. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. For sure. Morning, Sherman. Flex Out is freezing with all streams. UniPro Gen 2 switch. Okay. Well, what do I say about Unify Pro 2 switches? Come on. I've been saying it for a month now. Studio monitor is showing perfect picture. Well, here's a good idea. Or here is an idea at least. Log into your Flex Out. Whoops. Where's my Flex Out? Log into your Flex Out. Yes, I know it's not working. And log into the AV. I like my Unified Gen 2 switch. Hey, RJ Worth, call Michael Graves at home and ask him how to configure Unified Gen 2 switch. I don't know what you say about Unified Pro 2 switches, but the name Unify gives me a clue. I actually like the Gen 1s, me personally, because they're still hardware driven. Gen 2s are software processing, heavy software processing. And I know of one network administrator that's already burned out 3 of them, and I know of one engineer that's burned out 2 Gen 2 switches already. And they've, been out for less than a year with NDI. So I'm not convinced that they're the right choice, but I don't have Gen 2s, but I don't plan on buying Gen 2s. Let's just put it that way. So, who was it here that was RJ Worth? Can you check this and let me know what this information says? Again, just conversations with people, not necessarily experience. So I can't give you the exact whatever. Oh my gosh. Well, the Americans are waking up because incoming tickets merge. Those are the same ticket. You can always tell when the United States are coming online because they have floods of tickets come into the help desk with questions about stuff. people don't know how to hit reply, so they send in multiple tickets of the same thing. Anyway, these are my first world problems. Gen 2 software becoming a bottleneck. From what I hear, it just seems to be too much data on a constant basis for the Switch to handle. And so they just end up overheating and burning out. One of the guys that I had, the engineer, he said that his Switch, he was working with it was about 3 months in, and he walked into his office one day and he could smell that burning electronic smell, and the Switch was off. And so he tried to restart it, tried to plug it in, troubleshoot it, took it out of the rack. It was gone. 3 months. 3 months of NDI use, and it was gone. And so I was just like, geez, I can't, for the price that that Switch is, I can't even afford to test it if it's gonna burn out that quick. But sorry. G2s are fanless. Well, then that would be why. This is horrible. I'd like to know how they're testing cooling. Now, look, no, like, okay, so I'm not poking the bear and saying anything bad about Unify. Maybe we don't have it configured correctly. Maybe we're not. Maybe we have different expectations about the Switch's performance. But you know, high data usage generates a lot of heat. And so, truthfully, there are people that are like, well, I'm putting this in my production booth and I don't want it to be noisy. It's like, okay. I can't read your screen on my phone. Why not? Why can't you read my screen? The text isn't big enough? Oh, here, hang on. I'll fix that for you. Oh, oh, you're talking about my my desktop. So the desktop in here, it just shows under the Flex Out AV web UI, it shows NDI source statuses, and then it'll say connected or not connected, and then it'll tell you the resolution, the frame rate, the video sample rate, all that stuff. If there are errors there, then it's probably having trouble reading the NDI signal. If that shows that it's connected and reading it, then the Flex thinks that it's working. Like it thinks that it's outputting it correctly. So it's the first step in troubleshooting a Flex Out. I would just talk to Judson about theater, about stuff that he knows it. Of course, but I thought the US 150, I bought the US 2, but the first thing I read online after buying it was the exact same thing that you're saying. It doesn't work with NDI 2. I can't enable flow control, so I returned it anyways. Nope, solid. So you mean it's connected and thinks that it's working? That's good. That's good news. So I have a Unify 16 port 150, and I have access to a Unify 8 150. Both of them are running, well, the 8 150 is running 2 NDI sources and some other computer data. And the 16 150 is running 4 to 5 sources. It's actually one of my test bench switches, and it is servicing several. It's servicing several cameras all at the same time, so it's working pretty well. Hey, NJ, what's going on? Thanks for following. Traditionally, we do a little sound effect for you. Where is it here? This one? Hopefully that worked. Here, let's watch the stream and see if it worked. I'm always curious to know if the sound effects work, but anyway, we'll see. So I'm not saying that Unify can't work. I'm just saying. Oh, good. Somebody heard the horn. That's good. That did work. Awesome. Okay, so flex out. One of the things you might consider, have you done a hard restart on it? A little pinhole above the RS-232 port. Maybe hold that down and see if she restarts. So, yes. Thanks, Tim. All right, good to know.
Good news, everyone.
Thanks for letting me know. There's a whole gambit of sound effects that I haven't used in a really long time. So maybe we'll get back to that. Who knows?
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
I need to turn that up, I guess. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back. Ah, crap. Restream. Click all the walkways. I love it when it randomly kicks you out after being timed out. And I don't even think I have my phone. Oh, yeah, here it is. Anyway, can't connect to the web UI. I don't know. It was weird because I was able to run it with 3 NDI bird dogs once, but in other times it does the same thing as MikroTik where it has the flow control disabled, but enabling flow control on the 16 does nothing. That's very interesting. I really don't have too many issues. The one thing that you do have to do with Unify is turn off network optimization. Whoa, what is all this stuff? Oh, okay. Jeez. There is under the network setup portion. There's an option that's on by default called network optimization, which is basically QoS for the most part. You have to turn that off to get it to work correctly. Ew, what is this? Gross, get out of here. Seriously? All right, back to the stream. Streaming issues are detected to your Facebook platform. All right. Oh, cool. All right, so, yeah, there's a handful of sound effects in here that we I haven't used in quite a while. So, oh, and now my stream is all caught up. So, anyway, so you can't connect to the web UI. So have you tried the hard restart button on the unit? You know what? And for fun, I'll do it with you. Let's see what we get. Hold that down. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1000. Okay, signal is gone on my screen. Okay, it's just turned red. Okay, so, wow, that's a really long restart. Oh, it's still going. Hold the phone. This little flex out does get warm. Okay, screen's off. Keeps flashing. Okay, so that is an interesting factory reset. I've never had to do that. Never needed to. Still saved the same resource though, so it's technically not really a factory reset. Let's reboot the device. Hey, thanks everybody for showing up. Wow, there's a whole handful of you guys in here just successfully updated my Mini. Awesome. I should do that. Where is the Mini? Well, I have a studio. Let's go with that. This one that says Knutson on it. Here we go. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh well. Oh well. Let's see how many devices I can power off of this switch. I think it was disabled optimization, but I returned it so that I don't check it again. By the way, one small bug to report: once you hit static address on the BirdDog Mini web UI, it's completely locked out, and my IP settings didn't work. I spent 30 minutes to reset the BirdDog Mini. For some reason, I was not able to reset it, but I was successful at the end. Why are you using static settings? You knew I was going to ask this, right? Man, I think that there needs to be a... I need to do more tutorials. Because there are some regular foundational things that we need to kind of go over. I got to finish some ongoing shows before I feel like running updates. It's going to be a few fun days getting all the camps and the studios updated. Yes. Sherman, you have a fleet of things, right? Static IPs are just a bad idea. Hey, Michael Graves. I'm going to actually host like a Twitch show and have Michael come on and explain to people why it's a bad idea. Because I say it all the time, but I need to use the BirdDog Mini computer BirdDog Mini, but it doesn't matter. I just accidentally hit static with it. Oh, gotcha. I see. So this one is called BirdDog-Knutson. Oh, not Knutson Camp. Knutson Studio. Knutson Studio. Or not. My poor dog. He's crying in the other room. He's very upset. He's 11, which I can't believe. Okay. Five P200s, 3 P100s, 28 studios. Yikes. That is a lot. That is not the most, but that is a lot. Bravo. Thanks for keeping us in business. 121. What's funny is, Sherman, I don't hear from you very often. I mean, I hear from you here, right? But I don't hear from you at the help desk too often. All right, let's get the studio update pulled down from the website. Let's see. I have a Rev 3. So if you guys want to come along for the ride, I guess I can help you here. So the studio web interface, I'm just going to pull down the Rev 3 studio. You've seen me update this studio before in times past. Oh, they're both here. Okay, cool. So we go into the dashboard. This is our little readout, and then we go to system. You'll notice here NDI encode, NDI decode gives us some general information, but we're missing that little connection matrix. So I believe that that is now up and coming. So we go system update. I'm going to extract this update. Extract all. Extract. And then I got a Rev 3. And I'm just going to probably dump this on my desktop somewhere. Bob's your uncle. Choose file. Where are we here? Desktop. There we go. Boom. Update. Not now, LastPass. Nice. How is that cloud working out for you? Stopping BirdDog services. All right, congratulations. You have successfully updated your firmware. Cool. Let's go ahead and refresh. It is rebooting. I can see the light on the screen. By the way, our buddy Beep Chirp, he's on here usually. Today he's maybe taking a break. But he runs the unofficial Bird Dog Discord channel. So if you're at all interested in that, it looks something like... Whoa. I'm already on the unofficial Bird Dog. Whatever. I'll accept it. Let's try that again. What? What is going on here? I don't need to invite. Alright, to the studio. Cloud is good, just always fighting convention centers on getting the internet requests to work. Would love to know if there's any good ways to help when you get around to a double NAT or... Yeah, this is one of those things that it's like we intended it to be, you know, deployed on a controlled network, and then guys started using it like this, so it's kind of hard to get around double NATs or firewalls, primarily because we are using specific ports, so it ends up being a bit of a problem. Hey, there's the studio. She's back. It's not that we're not thinking about ways of trying to do it, but right now I don't know of a way to get to do that. All right, so as you see, our menu has now changed. It's not bars, but they're buttons. And so you can actually click on them, tell it what to do. It actually cleans it up a fair bit, I like, where it's not, you're not like scrolling all the way to the bottom, but instead you can actually just see the information. And look, connected here is now our beautiful little information. So if I were to set this device to decode, yeah. And then I'm going to refresh this list a few times. I'm going to select my Knutson cam, apply, go to the dashboard, make sure that she takes. Should be 1080p 60 if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. Connected. Good news. There it is, 1080p 60, 422, 2-channel audio, 48K, and guess what, folks? 140 megs. That is a very useful tool. No ways around it. VPN? A lot of firewalls will block common VPNs. It's generally the way that I'm getting it going, but still having its issues. Yeah, because, well, anyway. I would bet that the VPN could handle the Cloud SRT stream, but it won't do NDI. At least it's not approved for NDI. Lots of questions about high performance video over controlled networks. And what I mean by controlled is packet filtered networks. I see that there are a bunch of WebRTC updates. No, I have nothing to say about that. What do you mean WebRTC updates? Where are you seeing that? BirdDog hasn't come out and said anything about that yet. For the cloud coming soon. Yeah, okay, so unknown. Voicemail. I don't answer phone calls that are unknown, my friend. Whoops. This is actually something that we would need the guy over in Norway to talk about a little bit. Scheduled update for Monday, 18.0.1. WebRTC display name users can now specify a friendly display name in the WebRTC channels. Millicast WebRTC can now be used with the internal turn service provided by Millicast, so that no other turn server is mandatory for use of broadcast function. Millicast source tokens are now used, and users can choose to have can have viewers using a password to access the stream or create a BirdDog Cloud restricted user group for added security. All WebRTC pages, one per group, now have a required URL that can be found in the company's settings. This means that the current WebRTC player page URL no longer works to access the playback page. Those are the WebRTC changes. Interesting. Norway is actually online. Jan is actually testing things right now. Cool. My units aren't online, but they could be here soon. Let's see what... Take a peek at his transmit. Whoa, that's weird. Cool. Sorry, got distracted. Shiny object. Login homepage. Web UI should include a link to the support section of the website. Why? It's actually all changing, which is why it's not in there. Yeah, everything's moving. It's supposed to move last year, but some stuff happened and we are not able to move just yet. So we are switching support desks, though. There's going to be a big changeover one night. One random night. It's just going to all of a sudden be different. So brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, makes it easy. Oh, yeah. You mean the firmware page, not the knowledge database support page. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We're toying around with several ideas on how to do firmwares, so we're dreaming up ways of how to do it a little bit better. No promises that anything's going to change, but I know a conversation has been had because I was the one having it. So, yoink. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Appreciate you all sitting around and chatting it up. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're doing what we can. Michael, I don't know why they muted your message. He just said do it like a SIP phone where you have a URL in the web UI and you just click the update button. That's one idea we've had. Kind of convenient to just log in and click a button. Problem is a lot of people are still, like Sherman, for example, he's got 30 units, 40 units, you know. So logging into the web UI every time is kind of annoying. But you're right. If it was just like on the main page and it said like firmware update available, you just click on update and then it just does its reboot cycle and then updates the firmware. That'd probably be the first step in the right direction, right? So it'll work for 24 seconds and then it will freeze for a minute. Is it consistent like that? Like it's 24 seconds and then 60 seconds and then 24 seconds and then 60 seconds? Or is it kind of like random? Oh, I have some offline. I mean, you'd still be able to download it, right? Just, you know, put on a thumb drive if you had to. But for consistency's sake or for ease of use sake, yeah, you try and make it available. IP phones and video conferencing gear have long established fleet provisioning standards based on... Yeah, it works. I have an IP-based phone. The update process isn't perfect, but it's probably better than what we do. But I like the idea of that and can move them. That's true. Not exactly, but in that window. Okay. through, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Have you been testing just the same source or multiple sources? Do you have the ability to move it to a totally different network and try it on a different type of switch? Just try and troubleshoot it and make sure that it's actually the unit and not, something else. So, yeah, whatever. Okay, so we have 8 minutes here to go. A couple of things going on. I do have to call it at 12 because I have a shipment that has to go off to China, and so I need to be readily available to go down and hand labels and invoices and whatever to the delivery guy. So I have to be available at noon. One of the things that is happening right now is we are moving into a new office space. And so yesterday I went and I picked up the keys to that office space for here in the US. And that is something that's going to start happening. So these pictures are kind of out of order, but anyways, I'll share them with you just because I'm a bit excited about it. But here it goes. So this is the main lobby area. This is a 360-degree picture, so don't get too excited. But yeah, this wall on the left is this wall on the right. Okay, so picture it wrapped around your head. Again, I have a VR headset, so it's fun for me. Anyway, so this is kind of like where you first walk in. There's a little kitchenette there. Again, we're not really having clients come in. This is where my service agents are going to be, and we're going to be receiving shipments and a bunch of things from here. So this is the floor that we'll be in. So on the second floor, as you can see here, this is a little walk up. This is our door that's on the little glass door that goes into that area, bathrooms and whatever. So that's fun. And then these office rooms, these are a lot of them look the same, so I'll just kind of click through them, but they're actually quite long, the rooms. And so we're going to have a test bench. We're going to have an isolated network, like a properly NDI network, properly set up. Looks like I've been logged out of Amazon Photos. Anyways, they look a lot like this. Let's see, do we have any more? No, okay, they're all busted. Okay, give me a second, and I will refresh this. Yep, been signed out. Something signed me out of everything for some reason. Okay, so back to that photo of the first one. Whoa, wrong one. Okay, so here. So, a bunch of these offices, I mean, they're just office walls or whatever, but we actually have a place. It's going to be where the agents will be, at least initially. We're going to turn this, I think, into a bit of a studio. That's probably where I will be doing Twitch from, but we'll see. Kind of road noisy, so we might have to change our ideas. That will all happen the next little while. Another office space here. And one of the things, too, that I'll show you, if I can pull them up, actually used my iPad and created 3D renderings of them. So this is the actual office space, front door, lobby area, and then those 5 offices that are around. And so a couple of different angles for that. How the doors, the only thing that's wrong here is that this door and this door are on the wrong side. But whatever. Lots of windows, lots of cool, lots of light, which we'll have to control a little bit for cameras, but yeah, we're pretty excited about having that work. So, Beep Chirp, what's going on? Hey, got out of my PCI meeting. Thanks for the bits, man. That's fun. Appreciate that. Reminds me of the old Pixel Power office in Burbank, California. Oh, you have that many people now? So not one person per office, and not people in every office. There's going to be there's a studio, there's going to be cold storage, there's going to be a whole office dedicated to workbench repairs, RMAs, and returns. There's going to be a whole section that's going to be network configuration set up for that. Good luck, RJ. Nice to see you. Thanks for the chat, John. Hey, Sherman, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, Beep Chirp just jumped in. So, anyways, yeah, that's kind of the idea. I'll be officially kind of going over there in the next week or so, trying to transition over to that space. back to shading cameras for the shoot. Nice. Good luck. Yeah, that's a doozy, man. Sorry that you had to be in meetings right up until the end of the show. Anyways, with all that being said, guys, I do need to probably not stream on Tuesday, primarily because all of our office equipment is showing up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday is a holiday here in the U.S., at least for most people, and so nothing will probably be happening at the office over there. But on Tuesday, I'll be in that space, and I don't have internet service yet, so we will probably have to not stream on Tuesday. I will see what the upload speeds are like on the network over there. I didn't really do any testing, but I don't think they're great. I think they're pretty limited on the guest network that they have, so it's going to be kind of rough. Yeah, I would stream from my smartphone from that office. The problem there is I don't have unlimited data, so that would probably get eaten up in one show. So anyway, I think there's actually somebody here, so I need to probably sign off. Take it easy, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you a lot. Cheers.